In der zentralen Position, nur Schwarze hat er noch vor sich, dann ist es Fernhoff, er ist im Strafraum und der Tor! Tor! Für die Frankfurter Eintracht, 5:1.
Back in Norway after some interesting days in Germany, talking to different people, and we recorded at our YouTube channel and our podcast yesterday. So why didn't I talk about Oliver Kahn and the information that I have, that there is a process going on. There is a matter of time before he will be removed as the CEO of Bayern Munich. That's quite easy, because when you get told these kind of things, you will promise to keep it sometimes by yourself. You're not allowed to say it, or you can talk about a time where it's okay to tell it. And it was quite clear that the people I talked to, they didn't want to do it before the game against Manchester City. So that's why I tweeted today, Thursday morning, the fact that there are forces trying to get Oliver Kahn out of his job. He is the CEO of Bayern. He took over the reign. He took over to be in charge of one of the biggest global companies in Germany. I mean, you can compare them with Adidas, with Puma, BMW, with Mercedes, Hugo Boss, the big brands. And I was always critical to the fact that it seemed that the only background that the CEO of a big company like this, like Bayern Munich, is not only a football club, it's a big company with a lot of people. That was because you have played for Bayern Munich. That is fair enough if you're going to look for a coach or you're going to look for a sport director, but a CEO, you need other qualification. And what I've been told is that he never won over the office. I always talk about, or people always talk about coaches losing a dressing room. But I always try to turn around and I say, but you have to win it first. And it seems as Oliver Kahn never won the office of Bayern Munich. He never was seen as the boss, or is not seen as a boss that can make that team feeling. He's never been a boss that is good in communication, that has been in the public. Him and Salihamidzic been said to not have a great communication strategy. But at the end of the day, it's also about winning football games. And lately they haven't won football games. Also, there is a dynamic process here, because if you start kind of with Manuel Neuer, Thomas Müller, Tapalovic, the goalkeeping coach, then you kind of make that flank, so to say, open for criticism. Then you fire the coach, the manager, Julian Nagelsmann, without kind of have a great process. I'm not saying it was easy, because they wanted Thomas Tuchel. What's the right point of telling someone? But I'm sure that the right way of doing it is not to get the journalists to call Team Nagelsmann and say that he's been fired, or the talk of the town of Munich is that he's going to be fired. So I think when Nagelsmann is gone, Tuchel is in there. They said they've taken in a coach to save the season, to give them a chance to get 3 titles, where now 2 of them are gone. They were out in the Cup. They were out in the Champions League after last night against Manchester City. So then you open up the criticism also for the management. That's being Salihamidzic and Oliver Kahn. Salihamidzic seems to be safe. He's seen as Uli Hoeneß's man. But the CEO, Oliver Kahn, doesn't have a lot of lobby. He doesn't have a lot of support. He doesn't have a lot of people kind of standing up for him. So that makes his position more vulnerable. Mind you that Uli Hoeneß still got a lot of power at the club. He more or less built this club. He's one of the most respected, one of the most amazing, impressive football leaders that the football world have seen. He took over, I think it was when he was 27, and turned Bayern Munich into a global brand. But he's still around. He's still often in the office. Then you have Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, very good vernetzt, got a great network, in the football world. He's still just hanging around there. So it's not easy. I'm not saying it easy. So they have been talking about this. I don't think they know what time this will happen, because it's not like you fire a manager. You can do that in a couple of days, or you can get rid of a coach in a couple of days. It's harder. There are different rules. There are members and all that kind of things. I guess will have a saying as well. But he's a CEO of a big company, so there are rules to be followed there. Candidates has been talking about. There have been talked and there have been discussion about Uli Hoeneß could maybe do a comeback. There is also the role of President Heine, who could go in to be a kind of interim chairman for a while. If they go the road down with former Bayern Munich player Philipp Lahm, will be the obvious candidate. But mind you, he has said no to Bayern Munich before. He's a man that is very loyal to his way, to his path. He's involved at Stuttgart as an advisor, but he's also, of course, managing director of Euro 2024, that will take place in Germany. So maybe the timing for him is not good, and maybe he sees at the moment to go in there is not the best thing. So it's going to be exciting times going forward. Now they're playing Mainz on Saturday. That is a decisive game, as Dortmund is playing my team, Frankfurt, at home. So we'll see the timing of it all. But there is a process ongoing, and we'll see now after what's happening today. There is a kind of an own dynamic when these things start to be discussed in the public.